The American Broadcasting Company presents Treasury Agent.
The United States Treasury, the largest law enforcement agency in the world, consisting of
United States Secret Service.
We protect the President of the United States at all times and protect the money of the United States from counterfeiting.
United States Revenue Intelligence.
We have jurisdiction over tax fraud and evasion.
United States Bureau of Narcotics.
United States Internal Revenue, Border Patrol.
United States Alcoholics Tax Unit. Fraudulent violations of internal revenue.
These law enforcement agencies of the United States Treasury constitute the largest and mightiest law enforcement agency in the world. 64% of all criminals in federal penitentiaries apprehended in peacetime are there because the United States Treasury caught them and put them there. And now, Elmer Lincoln Irie, former chief coordinator of all the aforementioned Treasury departments for the past 10 years. Elmer Irie, who many have called the world's greatest detective, the man who personally planned the smashing of the Al Capone gang, the placing of the Treasury notes which solved the Lindbergh kidnapping, and hundreds more. So listen to what Elmer Irie has to say.
The cases which will be portrayed are based on the general modus operandi of the United States Treasury agents, operating here and all over the world. The United States Treasury has over 3,000 highly trained agents. Yet the public knows very little concerning these agents who protect your money, protect the borders of your country, protect you from fraud, narcotics, and misrepresentation. Many of the biggest and most powerful criminals in this country have been brought to justice by the patient work of our highly trained Treasury agents. Our case tonight starts in a small southwestern town. A stout, heavy-jowled man of about 60 was walking up the dingy corridor of the local hotel.
Colonel Cephas.
Hello, my dear.
I thought you were still in Washington.
It is difficult to know about me, isn't it, my dear?
You want to come in?
I never go into a woman's hotel room. There might be bad publicity. Step into the hall.
You must have left a trail from Washington down here with those peanut shucks.
Want some?
No, I'm fed up with seeing you eat peanuts.
Who is this young man, Culver, you telegraphed me about?
He's just a very sincere person. You should see him sway a camp meeting.
Sure it's not personal?
Just like you to come down here and spy.
What's this new song he wrote?
Don't tread on me. The camp meetings go wild.
Don't tread on me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That ought to start up a lot of hate. I mean, patriotism.
Look, Culver will be leading the meeting tonight. I recommended him because the sucker really believes what he preaches.
How are the dues coming in?
We've got 10,000 new members.
Forget I was here. I'll watch a new protege tonight. If I think he has possibilities, I'll wire to bring him to Washington.
Then you're going right back?
One never knows my plans. Oh, here, I've eaten all the peanuts. Take the bag of shucks and throw it away.
It's all I ever get from you now, shucks and leavings.
You'll hear from me by wire, my dear.
Come out, Culver.
What was the idea of shoving me in the closet?
If somebody had come in, it might have looked bad.
Oh, but I'm innocent.
You'll be late for the meeting, Culver. Now stir them up good tonight. Get the camp meeting into a frenzy. Maybe if you do well, I can take you back to Washington.
I sure will try it.
No one can tread on me. Oh, no one can tread, no one
A man whose religion ain't like ours. A man whose skin ain't like ours. Don't let a foreigner get nowhere. I hate the foreigners. Hate them all. Don't stand for no religion but ours. We hang together and hate them.
How's it feel to be going to Washington, Culver?
All I want, Miss Mona, is to meet Colonel Cephas.
Somebody on the train will hear. Nobody knows the colonel is backing our meetings.
He must be a real patriotic man.
He's got 14 flags in his office.
14? He rich?
Rich and powerful.
Well, where are we going to stay?
At one of his big estates up the Potomac River.
You work for him?
For a long time. I take charge of the different societies we start up and all the speakers we send out.
Oh, I'll speak. I'd rather speak than anything in the world. Why should we let foreigners take our
Not
jobs?
too loud, Culver. People are looking. Wait till we get to Washington. This will be your bedroom, Culver.
Gee, with a canary bird.
Colonel Cephas has a canary in almost every room. He says the singing makes him feel so good and pure.
Oh, this is the biggest house I ever saw. If there wasn't so many foreigners in this country, every American could have a mansion like this.
It's late. You'll want to go to bed.
You know, you look real pretty tonight, Miss Mona.
Don't say things like that. I'm 10 years older than you are.
Oh, I didn't mean to upset you.
The Colonel is waiting in his living room. I've got to leave.
The things in this bedroom must be worth a fortune.
Good night.
Good night, Miss Mona. I wish you wouldn't hurry.
Come in, Mona.
Well, Colonel, I suppose you had a good time sitting there at your desk, listening to every word.
You look real pretty tonight, Miss Mona.
I knew you'd pick on that. Don't you feel a little ashamed to have a hidden microphone in every room in the house?
Sometimes interesting to know what your guests say after they go to their rooms. Want some peanuts?
No. No, the shucks either.
Your protege really is a fanatic, isn't he?
All our other speakers are fakes. They know we start up the groups for profit. I just thought it might be a good business to have one speaker who really believes what he preaches.
Listen. He is going to bed. Just dropped his shoe. Tell me more about your trip, Mona.
16 new groups, 14,000 new members, $5 a month dues.
What did you base the Western meetings on?
Race hatred.
Include religious hatred also. They pay their dues better. Funny he hasn't dropped his other shoe. There it goes. I should hear the water running in a few minutes.
I suppose the canary singing makes you feel good and pure, even though you are eavesdropping on a person going to bed.
Always understanding, aren't you, my dear?
Colonel, you've made yourself rich selling hate. But I've got a new idea.
Yes?
Why couldn't we organize groups on the side and instead of selling hate, sell love? That funny, eh?
The Blue America Group tried that. They sold $8 million worth of hate in 3 years. Then they tried to organize other groups and sell love. They couldn't sell $1 worth of love.
All right. I choke.
Hate is like a loaf of bread. You can carve off slices and sell it. Hate is the easiest thing in the world to sell. You can get ignorant people to hate anything. And hate brings money.
United States Treasury Forms A are to be taken immediately to Secret Service. Blue forms to Intelligence and Narcotic Bureau.
I'm sorry, sir, but Chief Austin of the Coordinator's office is in conference with one of his Treasury agents.
Jones, what do you think of that report of the Un-American Activities Committee on Colonel Cephas?
Chief Austin, you could have knocked me over with a feather. The colonel's supposed to be a very patriotic man.
Oh, naturally. He conducts all his activities under the guise of patriotism.
But Colonel Cephas isn't really a Treasury case, Chief Austin.
Well, just the same, we're going after him on tax evasion. And, I'm assigning you.
Me? Why, say, this is an awfully big case, Chief Austin.
You're going to face him and Bet 10 to 1, this is Moss of the Un-American Committee. Chief Austin speaking.
This is Morse, Austin. Put Lincoln on that Colonel Cephas case, will you?
Why,
Put Joe Lincoln on him. That's the greatest Treasury agent who ever lived. Nobody ever got away from Lincoln yet.
I realize how you feel, Moss, but our plans...
Promise you'll put him on?
I can't talk right now.
Why not?
I can't explain.
You'll never get the Colonel unless you put Joe Lincoln on.
Oh, now listen, Moss, don't embarrass me. I'll call you back.
All right, but remember what I told you.
Well, Jones, it's a big assignment. Biggest of the year.
Well, I was just thinking. Most of my work is figures. There's so much detective work.
Get in some way as Colonel Cephas's bookkeeper.
Yes, sir.
The whole department will be back of you.
Yeah, but the colonel doesn't have a big organization. To get in as a bookkeeper.
Too big a job for you?
Sometimes, Chief, I wish you were married to my mother-in-law.
Let go of my pocketbook. Let go. Let go of me. Stop it.
Don't worry, lady. I'll take care of him. He didn't hurt you?
No, I just tried to grab my pocketbook.
Good.
I can't thank you enough.
Well, there's a restaurant right here. Let's go and have a cup of coffee and relax, huh?
Thank you. I wouldn't mind at all.
Come on, then. It's right here. Yeah, see, there's a booth over there that's empty.
I don't know as I really should be doing this.
Here, you move in first, huh? There now. Boy meets girl.
I'm almost glad the man tried to rob me.
Yeah. Who are you?
Mona.
Mona what?
Mona Warren. Who are you?
Jones.
I never heard the name before.
No. My mother made it up.
What's your first name?
Keith.
Well, I guess we're acquainted.
Yeah. I guess the waitresses are all busy right now. Hey, what do you do?
Well, I'm sort of associated with Colonel Cephas.
Oh, the Colonel Cephas?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, he's a big shot, all right.
What do you do?
I'm a bookkeeper looking for a job. You don't suppose you could get me a job with Colonel Cephas, do you?
Why, I don't know.
Well, I'm a good bookkeeper. Would you ask him for me?
Sure.
And you'll try hard?
I'll do what I can. He does most of his work from one of his estates.
Yeah. And you'd be there?
Sure.
I'd like that.
I don't think I'll wait to get something to eat.
Why not? We just came in.
Well, I'm not hungry.
Well, what are you afraid of?
Nothing.
Well, here, let me write out my telephone number and address.
All right, but please hurry.
Okay, but why so jittery? Did the fellow trying to hold you up make you jittery?
No, only... Well, I'm afraid to be seen with you.
Okay, I don't know what it's all about. Oh, you married?
No.
Well, that's beyond me. But if you're truly upset... Here, try and get me that job, won't you?
I promise. Now, you've got to let me go. If I can get him to hire you, I'll call you. If I can't, just forget you ever saw me. What's the matter, Colonel Cephas?
Just thinking, my dear. Some peanuts?
No.
I'm expecting a guest tonight, Mona. Put him in the blue room.
Who?
I doubt if you know him.
Oh, for heaven's sake, stop sitting there like a baboon and eating those peanuts, will you?
Not the same old Mona, are you?
Cut it out, Jay, will you? You know what I gave up to come and work with you. 17 years I've given you the best of my life. I was in love with you. I've done your dirty work for years, and this is all I get.
You think the bird sings better on that new type of seed?
Oh, what's the use? That's the only thing I haven't done for you. Eat birdseed and sing. Eat peanuts and scratch myself.
You'd better answer the door, my dear.
Tweet, tweet. You.
Why, yes.
What are you doing here?
I thought you must have gotten me the job.
Why, come in.
Yes.
Would you wait here a minute? I'll go and speak to the colonel.
Why, sure.
Why didn't you tell me who was coming?
Don't you like surprises?
Why did you do this? What are you up to?
I've been thinking for a couple of days over the experience you had the other night, my dear. How you went into the restaurant with the young man who saved you from the pocketbook snatcher. How we told you he was a bookkeeper, needed a job.
But I asked you, and you said you didn't want a bookkeeper.
The more I thought of it, my dear, the more suspicious I became. So I had the young man investigated. He happens to be a United States Treasury agent.
A Treasury agent?
Evidently, we're under investigation.
But then why did you hire him?
We're going to be under investigation by a Treasury agent. I prefer to have him under my eye, so I can feed him what I want him to know.
Oh, yes, but our books, are they all right?
You'd be surprised to know what I'm prepared for. Show him to the blue room, Mona.
And I suppose you have your microphone connected to that room?
Naturally. Mona. Mona, come here.
What's the matter, Colonel? Trouble?
Past week, that bookkeeper Jones has been getting acquainted with Culver.
What of it?
He's up in Culver's room now, putting that radical up to something.
But what?
Listen.
Yeah, you're right, Jones. You're right.
You shouldn't wait just to go out to the trips, Culver. Make your speeches right here in Washington.
Where?
The street corners, anywhere.
This country isn't a fit place for Americans to live anymore. We Americans are being downtrodden by foreigners, jobs taken.
That's the stuff. Don't hold back.
I wouldn't hold back if they shot me. I'll shout it from every rooftop in Washington.
That's your protege, Mona. He's a crackpot.
If he makes those speeches here in Washington, he'll get himself arrested.
And it'll be plastered all over the Washington papers he's associated with me.
Why is Jones egging him on?
It's a trick to smoke me out into the open.
We can't fire Culver. He talked too much.
Day after tomorrow, you're to start on a new trip. Culver goes with you.
What's the purpose?
Start up new groups.
The real purpose.
When the situation is right, get Culver started. But there'll be a small riot. In that riot, serious accidents can take place. And nothing can be proved.
That's a large order.
It happened once before when you became a widow, so you could be with me.
Shut up.
Build up new societies. Get members. And see that an accident happens to Culver. When some camp meeting gets into a frenzy.
Never worked for a man with a foreign name. A man who ain't like us. A man whose religion ain't like ours. A man whose skin ain't like ours.
Hello, I'm calling from Washington. Hello.
Oh, hello. I tell you I'm on.
Mona?
3 a.m. What's the matter?
Any accidents yet?
No, but maybe tomorrow.
Come back quick.
Come back.
Yes. Bring Culver with you.
What's happened?
Plenty.
I'll take the first train in the morning.
Come right to my Westover estate. You should be here by late tomorrow evening.
I came right from the train, Colonel. What's the matter?
Sit down, Mona. Of course, you know we're in this together, my dear.
If you soften enough to put it that way, it must be bad.
Mona, I pretended to swallow Jones' story.
He is a Treasury agent, isn't he?
Yes. I thought by pretending I didn't know it, taking him on as our bookkeeper would be a good way to handle him, but...
Has he gotten anything on us? Why the gun in your drawer?
Don't be dramatic. It's merely for a great emergency. Look at these papers.
Huh?
Look at all these figures on them.
But these are photostats.
I didn't want to touch the real papers. Jones has them hidden in his room. He's evidently just compiling the figures. He hasn't used them as yet.
I don't understand.
Each one of these figures is the serial number of $1 or $5 bills.
What bills?
Use your head. Haven't we set it up so when the members of the society's paid dues in cash, it goes to banks under different names, so we don't pay income tax?
Oh. Then these bills are the serial numbers of the bills paid to us for dues.
If that Treasury agent can trace those bills to the different banks where they were deposited, it means the penitentiary.
Oh, no, Jay.
Oh, yes, Mona. Exactly that. We're in time. You're leaving on another trip in the morning, and I'm sending Jones along.
To get what you planned for Culver.
Precisely. I'll ring for Jones now. One more thing. Ever hear of a very famous Treasury agent by the name of Joe Lincoln?
Of course.
Well, our bookkeeper is none other than the famous little giant killer, Lincoln.
Jones is Lincoln, the famous Treasury agent?
And I paid plenty for that information.
Oh, no wonder we're on the spot.
You want me, Colonel Cephas?
Yes, come in, Jones.
I was waiting outside. It's a beautiful night out tonight.
Have some peanuts, Jones.
No, thank you.
Jones?
Hmm?
Miss Mona and Culver are starting on another trip in the morning. We'll organize a few other patriotic groups.
I almost wish I could go along.
Well... That's strange. I was just going to suggest it.
Oh? I see.
A short trip. It'll give you a better idea how we operate.
I see.
That little canary is a jewel of happiness.
Colonel, don't you think it's about time we stop kidding around?
What do you mean?
You know who I am.
I don't understand.
Well, you know I'm a Treasury agent. You knew it even when you hired me.
This is very interesting, Jones. Tell me more.
Well, when I was egging Culver on to give his fanatic speeches here in Washington, you had a microphone on the wall and you heard me.
I think I'll go to my room for a minute.
You sit where you are, Miss Mona.
I'm very shocked at what you're saying, Jones.
You shouldn't be. You had a microphone listening to what I said. Didn't it occur to you that I might use the same device?
Here comes Culver.
And when he comes in, don't try to stir up his fanaticism into physical force against me.
No one can tread upon me.
Come in, Culver.
Huh? Oh. That's a great song, you know, Colonel. Oh, hello, Jones. Oh, say, why is everybody so serious?
Jones resents our patriotism.
Oh, he does, huh?
In fact, his real name isn't Jones. It's Treasury Agent Joe Lincoln. You didn't think I knew that one, did you, Jones?
You're mistaken, Colonel. Treasury Agent Joe Lincoln is standing right beside you.
What do you mean?
The man you call Culver is really Joe Lincoln, my boss.
Is this true, Culver?
I'm afraid it is, Colonel. And I knew the only way to really get you was to get the serial numbers of those bills paid in for dues. That's why I got in with your organization as a radical speaker, so I'd be on the spot and could list the serial numbers of the bills as your members turned them in. The Treasury Department has been tracing those bills and has traced them to 64 banks under 64 phony names.
I can't speak. I've got some smelling salts in my drawer, and... Oh, my finger!
Sorry I had to kick that drawer closed.
No, my fingers are broken.
That isn't all that'll be broken if you reach for a gun again. Miss Mona, you and the Colonel are under arrest by the United States Treasury.
Now back to Elmer Lincoln Irie, Chief Coordinator of the Law Enforcement Agencies of the United States Treasury for over 10 years. Mr. Irie.
Colonel Cephas and the woman known as Mona were convicted in the federal court, and both are serving a long time for tax evasion. The Treasury has found that many of the societies organized to hate other groups in this country have been created for personal, selfish gain. And the originators have amassed great fortunes for themselves. About the only way to smash these hate groups is to get their leaders for tax evasion. And our Treasury agents will continue to investigate them and prosecute. But this is only one type of case our 3,000 Treasury agents are working on tonight. And on this series, you will hear some very extraordinary cases. For instance, next week...
The two gang leaders are sitting in a car talking. 5 bodyguards of one are on one side of the street. The 5 bodyguards of the other are on the opposite side.
Indications are he chiseled the government out of $16 million.
Quiet, quiet. He's hearing strange voices just like Capone did when we closed in.
Next week, you will hear how our Treasury agents closed in on the persons we have just referred to. The United States Treasury is your representative, and 24 hours a day, it is working to protect you.
Next week, same time, same station. Treasury Agent. Elmer Irie was impersonated. Leading roles were played by Santos Ortega and Everett Sloan. Music under the direction of Bernie Green. Jack McCarthy speaking. Treasury Agent is another Phillips H. Lord production.